There comes a moment in every person's life when they feel like giving up. Maybe it's after a string of failures when every effort seems wasted. Maybe it's after hearing no for the 100th time. Or maybe it's when the weight of the world feels too heavy to carry another step. If you're honest with yourself, you've probably had those moments too, when quitting felt like the easiest or even the only option. But here's a truth most people don't want to face. Dreams don't die because of lack of talent or lack of opportunity. They die because people quit too soon. That's the shocking reality. The graveyards of the world are filled with untold stories, unwritten books, unfinished songs, and unrealized inventions. Not because people weren't capable, but because they gave up before the breakthrough came. Think about this. What if Thomas Edison had quit after his first 100 failed attempts at creating the light bulb? He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Most people would have surrendered long before the 10,000th try. If Edison had given up, the world might have stayed in literal darkness for decades more. One man's refusal to quit changed the course of human history. Or consider J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, she was a struggling single mother, rejected by 12 publishers. 12! Most of us would have taken rejection number 3 as a sign to stop. But she didn't. She refused to give up because her story mattered too much to her. And because of that persistence, millions of children discovered the magic of reading again. Now pause for a second and ask yourself, how many times have you quit right before the finish line? How many times have you convinced yourself it wasn't worth it, only to later look back and wonder what might have been if you had pushed just a little bit further? The truth is, success often hides just behind the point where most people stop trying. It's like digging for gold. You can dig for months, for years, breaking rocks, sweating, exhausting yourself. And then, just a few feet deeper, the treasure lies. But too many quit one strike before they reach it. And those who persist, they're the ones who discover the gold. So today, I want to take you on a journey. Not just a motivational talk, not just nice words to inspire you for a few minutes. No, this is an invitation to rewire how you think about giving up, to understand the power that comes from refusing to surrender, to see that your breakthrough may not come tomorrow or next week or even next year, but it will never come if you stop moving forward. In the next hour, we will walk through 7 powerful steps. We will talk about how your mindset shapes your ability to endure. We will explore how habits and discipline carry you when motivation runs out. We will learn how to face failure and fear without letting them break you. We will discover the importance of taking small but relentless actions, setting powerful goals, and holding on to dreams so big they scare you. And finally, we will end with a call, a challenge to rise up, to stand firm, to keep fighting, and above all, to never give up. But before we dive into strategies and stories, let me make you a promise. If you give me your time and your attention, if you listen with your heart and not just your ears, by the end of this video you will not only understand why you should never give up, you will feel it deep in your bones. You will carry with you a fire that whispers in your darkest nights. Don't quit now. Your story isn't over. Because here's the thing. Every single person you admire, every hero, every icon, every world changer, they all had moments when they wanted to quit. The difference between them and the ones you've never heard of? They didn't. They kept going when the world said stop. They pushed forward when everything in them screamed to turn back, and the same strength that carried them lives inside you. You may not see it yet. You may not feel it yet, but it's there, waiting to be awakened. This hour together is about awakening that power. So as we begin, I want you to make a decision, right here, right now. Decide that whatever dream you've been holding, whatever goal you've been considering abandoning, you won't quit. Decide that from this day forward, giving up is no longer an option. You may fall, you may stumble, you may fail 1,000 times. But quitting? That's off the table. Because here's what I believe with all my heart. The moment you choose not to give up is the moment your destiny begins to unfold. So take a deep breath, focus your mind, open your heart. Let's take this journey together, and by the end, I promise you, you will see that no matter how dark the night, no matter how heavy the burden, no matter how many times you've fallen, the answer is always the same. Never give up. When you think about the people who refuse to give up, what do they all have in common? It's not that they are stronger, faster, or smarter than everyone else. It's that they have a mindset that refuses to surrender. They've trained their minds to see obstacles not as stop signs, but as stepping stones. And that makes all the difference. Mindset is everything. You can have all the resources, the talent, and the opportunities in the world. But if your mind tells you it's impossible, you've already lost before you begin. On the other hand, even if you start with nothing, no money, no connections, no advantages, if your mind is strong enough, you can keep going until the impossible becomes reality. Let's start with a simple truth. Your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your future. If your inner voice says, "I can't take another step, I can't handle another failure," then you're training yourself to give up. But if your inner voice says, "I'll try again, I'll go one more round, I refuse to quit," then you are building the mental muscles of persistence. Think about Michael Jordan. He was cut from his high school basketball team. Many people would have let that define them forever, but he didn't. He said in interviews that being cut only made him train harder, practice longer, and sharpen his skills until there was no denying his greatness. His mindset turned rejection into fuel. Or consider Oprah Winfrey. She came from poverty, abusing countless setbacks. At one point, she was even fired from her job as a television reporter because she was told she wasn't fit for TV. Most people would have taken that as a signal to give up, but Oprah didn't. Her mindset told her, "I am more than my circumstances. I am more than their opinions." That mindset carried her into becoming one of the most influential women in the world. This is why shaping your mindset is the first step to never giving up, because life will test you. It will push you to your limits, and when everything in you wants to quit, the only thing that will carry you through is the belief that you can and must keep going. Now, how do you shape such a mindset? It doesn't happen overnight. Just like training your body in the gym, you have to train your mind with consistent practice. Here are 3 exercises you can begin today. Challenge your negative thoughts. When your mind says, "I can't do this," stop and ask, "Is that really true? Or am I just afraid?" Often our first instinct is fear, not fact. Surround yourself with resilience. Read biographies of people who didn't give up. Listen to stories of fighters, dreamers, and doers. The more you fill your mind with their persistence, the more you train your own. Practice the language of persistence. Instead of saying, "I failed," say, "I learned." Instead of, "This is too hard," say, "This is preparing me for something greater." Words are powerful. They shape your mental reality. And here's a small but powerful exercise I want you to try right now. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself this question: what do I truly want so badly that I refuse to give up, no matter how long it takes? Don't rush the answer. Let it rise from deep inside you. Maybe it's a dream career. Maybe it's building a better life for your family. Maybe it's proving to yourself that you are capable of greatness. Whatever it is, hold that thought, because that desire will become the foundation of your persistence. Here's the key message. A strong mindset doesn't mean you never doubt, never cry, never feel weak. It means you choose to keep going despite all of those feelings. It's the decision that no matter how many times you fall, you will rise again. Remember this: the strongest mindset is not "I will win." The strongest mindset is "I will not quit." Because winning doesn't always come quickly. Sometimes it takes years. But the moment you decide quitting is not an option, you've already won the battle of persistence. So when life hits you hard, when you lose the job, when the relationship ends, when the dream seems further away than ever, stop and remind yourself, this is not the end. This is the training ground for my future. Your mind will either convince you to surrender or push you to rise, and that choice every single day belongs to you. The story of those who succeed is not a story of perfection. It's a story of people who built a mindset so strong, so resilient, that giving up was never part of the plan. And that is the kind of mind you are capable of shaping. So right now, make a decision. Train your thoughts to see obstacles as opportunities. Practice speaking persistence into your own life. And hold tightly to the dream that matters most. Because with the right mindset, no matter what life throws at you, you will not give up. Mindset is the foundation, but what happens when motivation fades? Because let's be honest, motivation will fade. There will be days when you wake up and don't feel like fighting. There will be nights when the thought of continuing feels exhausting. It's in those moments that habits and discipline become your lifeline. They are the silent engines that keep you moving forward when your emotions scream, "Quit." You see, success is not built on occasional bursts of motivation. It's built on the steady, daily actions that accumulate over time. Discipline is choosing what matters most over what feels good in the moment. Habits are the routines that make discipline automatic. Together, they create an unstoppable force that makes giving up almost impossible. Let's break this down. Imagine two people chasing the same dream. One works on it only when they feel inspired. The other works on it every single day, no matter how they feel. Who do you think reaches their goal first? It's obvious. The person with discipline will always outlast the person with motivation alone. Because motivation is a spark, but discipline is the firewood that keeps the flame alive. Think about athletes. Do you believe Olympic champions wake up every morning feeling excited to train? No. They wake up sore, tired, and sometimes even discouraged. But they still lace up their shoes, step onto the track, or dive into the pool. Why? Because habits have taken over where motivation falls short. Their routine doesn't ask them how they feel. It simply tells them what to do. And here's the key. You don't need giant habits. You just need small, consistent ones that create momentum. For example, waking up 30 minutes earlier to work on your goals, reading 10 pages of a book every day, writing down your top 3 priorities every morning, doing 20 minutes of exercise no matter how busy you are. Each habit may seem small on its own, but over time they add up to something extraordinary, because habits compound. Just like money grows with compound interest, persistence grows with compound effort. But what about discipline? How do you build it when you feel weak? The secret is not to rely on willpower alone. Willpower is like a battery. It runs out. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. Here are a few practical techniques to strengthen your discipline. The 5-minute rule. When you don't feel like doing something, commit to just 5 minutes. Often, once you start, momentum carries you further. Accountability. Tell a friend, mentor, or even social media what you plan to do. The pressure of others watching makes quitting harder. Reward system. Give yourself small rewards for completing tough tasks. Your brain learns to associate persistence with positive feelings. Remove temptations. Don't test your discipline more than necessary. If distractions make you quit, eliminate them. Out of sight, out of mind. And most importantly, build routines that don't ask for your permission. If you've trained yourself to write every morning at 7 a.m., your brain won't debate it. It becomes automatic. That's how discipline evolves into habit. Now, let's connect this to the theme of never giving up. When you rely only on motivation, every failure feels crushing. Every setback feels like a reason to stop. But when you have habits and discipline, you keep going anyway. You wake up and put in the work, even if yesterday was a disaster. You keep moving forward, even if progress feels invisible. And slowly, step by step, you make quitting harder than continuing. Think about Thomas Edison again. Do you think he felt motivated after failing thousands of times? Of course not. But his habit of experimenting, his discipline of showing up daily in his lab, kept him going. The man simply built persistence into his routine. Or take Serena Williams. Her greatness wasn't built on talent alone. It was built on the discipline of practice, of showing up on the court every day, no matter the mood, no matter the weather, no matter the failures. That's why she didn't quit, even after injuries, setbacks, and criticism. So here's the lesson. If you truly want to never give up, you must build habits that push you forward automatically and discipline that strengthens you when motivation weakens. Let me give you a simple daily structure you can apply starting tomorrow. Morning. Write down your top goal and one small action to move toward it. Daytime. Commit to at least one habit that strengthens your body, exercise, and one that strengthens your mind, reading, journaling, or learning. Evening. Reflect on your progress. Write down what you accomplished, no matter how small. This builds the identity of someone who persists. Over time, these simple habits shape your identity, and identity is the ultimate defense against giving up. Because once you see yourself as someone who doesn't quit, your brain will fight to protect that identity. So remember, motivation starts the journey, but habits and discipline finish it. They are the invisible forces that carry you through the days when quitting feels easier. Build them carefully, practice them daily, And soon persistence will no longer be something you try to do. It will be who you are. And when you reach that point, when persistence becomes identity, giving up won't even be an option anymore. If there's one thing that makes most people give up, it's failure. The sting of trying and falling short, the embarrassment of rejection, the heartbreak of watching your effort amount to nothing. Fear of failure and the weight of fear itself have ended more dreams than lack of talent ever could. But here's the truth you need to embrace. Failure is not the end. Failure is feedback. And fear is not a wall. It's a doorway. Every great success story you know is also a story of failure. Think about Elon Musk. At one point, both Tesla and SpaceX were on the brink of collapse. He had poured nearly all of his personal fortune into these ventures, and when his rockets exploded on launch, critics laughed. Most people would have said, "That's enough. I quit." But Elon refused. He looked at failure not as defeat, but as a lesson. Each failure became data. Each mistake became an improvement. Today, his companies are changing industries because he refused to give up. Or look at Walt Disney. He was fired from a newspaper job because his editor told him he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. Imagine hearing that, and then going on to build the most imaginative entertainment empire in history. Failure did not define him. It refined him. And here's the key. When you see failure as a stepping stone, you strip it of its power to stop you. Failure only breaks you if you believe it's final. But it's never final unless you quit. Now let's talk about fear. Fear is one of the biggest reasons people give up before they even begin. Fear of being judged. Fear of wasting time. Fear of not being good enough. But understand this. Fear is a liar. Fear whispers in your ear, "What if you fail? What if they laugh at you? What if you're not ready?" But here's a better question. What if you succeed? What if this risk leads you to the life you've always dreamed of? What if you're stronger than you think? The only way to silence fear is not to wait until it disappears, because it never will. The only way is to face it head-on. Here are 3 powerful techniques you can use. Write it down. Take out a journal and write down every fear holding you back. Put it on paper so it no longer hides in the shadows of your mind. Break it into steps. Fear often feels overwhelming because the task looks massive. Break it down. Don't think about writing a book. Think about writing 1 page. Don't think about running a marathon. Think about running for 5 minutes. Act despite it. The truth is, courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward in spite of fear. Start with something small. Do the uncomfortable thing. With each step, fear loses its grip. History is full of quotes that remind us of this truth. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "Do one thing every day that scares you." Henry Ford declared, "Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently." These are not just pretty words. They are roadmaps for persistence. But let's get real for a moment. Facing failure and fear isn't easy. It hurts. It bruises your ego. It shakes your confidence. Sometimes it feels unbearable. But here's the paradox. The very moments when you feel most broken are the moments when you are growing the most. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Steel is forged in fire. And your character, your persistence, is forged in the furnace of failure and fear. Think about your own life. What was the last time you failed at something that mattered? Did you walk away? Or did you rise again? And if you did walk away, what if that was your Edison moment? The point where success was just one more try away. How would your life be different today if you had pushed just a little further? The truth is, fear and failure are not signals to stop. They are signals that you are alive, that you are chasing something that matters, that you are on the edge of growth. If you never fail, it means you're not trying hard enough. If you never feel fear, it means you're staying too comfortable. So here's the mindset shift. When you feel fear, smile and say, "I'm on the right path." When you fail, stand tall and say, "This is my training. This is my lesson. This is my fuel." Because every failure carries within it the seed of persistence, if only you refuse to give up. Let me leave you with this. The world doesn't remember the people who never tried. It remembers those who fell 100 times and stood up 101. It remembers those who walked into their fears and refused to let them win. And it will remember you. Not because you never failed, but because you never quit. So the next time failure knocks you down, don't stay on the ground. The next time fear whispers you can't, stand up taller and answer, "Watch me." Because your future is not determined by how many times you fall, but by how many times you rise. And if you rise every time, if you face fear with courage and failure with persistence, absolutely nothing can stop you. Dreams, mindset, habits, all of these matter. But without action, they remain nothing more than thoughts floating in your imagination. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It is the turning point, the force that transforms someday into today. And when the temptation to give up feels strongest, the cure is often simple. Take action, even if it's small. Many people wait for the perfect moment to act. They say, "I'll start when I feel ready. I'll begin once I have more time, more money, more knowledge." But here's the truth. The perfect moment will never arrive. Waiting for perfection is another way of giving up before you start. You must act now with what you have, where you are. Think about this. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't wait for the world to be safe before he marched for freedom. Entrepreneurs don't wait until every risk is eliminated before launching their business. Athletes don't wait until they're guaranteed to win before stepping onto the field. They act, sometimes scared, sometimes unprepared, but always moving forward. Because action, not waiting, creates breakthroughs. One of the most powerful principles for action is the 2-minute rule. It's simple. If something takes less than 2 minutes to start, do it immediately. Want to start exercising? Put on your shoes and step outside for 2 minutes. Want to write a book? Write a single sentence. Want to learn a new skill? Watch a short tutorial. The magic is that starting is the hardest part. Once you begin, momentum takes over. Another effective method is the Pomodoro technique. Instead of staring at an overwhelming mountain of work, break it into 25-minute chunks. Work with focus for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. Repeat. You'll be amazed how much progress you make simply by starting small and staying consistent. Action is powerful because it destroys fear. When you sit and think about all the reasons you might fail, fear grows. But the moment you act, fear shrinks. You shift from paralysis to progress, and progress fuels persistence. Let's talk about small actions that create massive results. Consider the story of a man who wanted to lose weight. Instead of committing to hours at the gym, he made a rule. He would drive to the gym every day and stay for just 5 minutes. At first, it seemed ridiculous, but soon 5 minutes turned into 10, then 30. Over time, those small daily actions transformed his body and his life. The secret wasn't intensity, it was consistency. Or think about the writer who committed to writing just 1 page per day. 1 page seems small, almost too easy. But after a year, that's 365 pages, a book. Over a decade, that's 10 books. The lesson is clear. Small actions, repeated daily, compound into extraordinary results. Now I want you to imagine your own future. Close your eyes and picture this. What would your life look like 1 year from now if you refused to give up and instead acted every single day? Imagine waking up with more energy because you've built healthy habits. Imagine looking at your bank account and seeing stability because you took action on that side hustle. Imagine standing in front of a crowd, sharing your story of persistence because you refused to quit when life got tough. Now flip the script. What would your life look like 1 year from now if you gave up today? Imagine the regret. Imagine knowing you were 1 step away from a breakthrough, but you stopped. That vision should scare you more than failure, because regret is heavier than fear. Breakthrough action requires courage, but it also requires clarity. Ask yourself, what is one action I can take today that moves me closer to my goal? Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Write it down, commit to it, then do it. Remember this truth, success is rarely about doing one massive thing once. It's about doing small, courageous things repeatedly, refusing to stop, refusing to quit. That's how you build momentum. That's how you break through. And the moment you feel like giving up, that is your signal to take action immediately. Don't sit in the darkness of doubt. Move. Call a mentor.
Send that email.
Take that walk. Write that page. Do the thing, no matter how small. Because action breathes life into persistence. There's a quote often attributed to Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. This is the essence of breakthrough action. Begin, even if you're scared. Begin, even if you're tired. Begin, even if the world doubts you. Because once you begin, momentum will carry you further than you ever imagined. So here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, commit to 1 small action every single day toward your dream. Write it down. Do it. And when the week ends, don't stop. Keep going. Each step is another nail in the coffin of giving up. Each step is another declaration that you will persist, no matter what. Action is how you prove to yourself and to the world that you mean it when you say, "I will never give up." Because words are cheap.
Thoughts are fleeting.
But actions endure. And if you choose action today, if you choose to step forward instead of stopping, if you choose persistence instead of quitting, you will unlock a future that is brighter, stronger, and far greater than anything you can currently imagine. Never forget, the distance between your dream and your reality is measured not in miles, not in years, but in actions. Take them now. Persistence without direction is like running endlessly on a treadmill. You're moving, but you're not getting anywhere. That's why goals and dreams are the compass of your journey. They give meaning to your struggle, fuel your persistence, and remind you why giving up is not an option. When you're tempted to stop, it's your goals and dreams that whisper, "Keep going. This is why you started." First, let's talk about the importance of having clear goals. A person without goals drifts aimlessly. They wake up each day reacting to life instead of creating it. But when you have a clear goal, everything changes. You wake up with purpose. You know what to say yes to, and, just as importantly, what to say no to. Goals give you direction, energy, and discipline. Think of a ship at sea. Without a destination, it will wander endlessly, tossed around by waves. But the moment the captain sets a course, the ship can endure storms, adjust its sails, and still arrive at its destination. Your life works the same way. Clear goals transform random effort into focused persistence. So how do you set the right kind of goals? One powerful method is the SMART framework. Specific. Don't say, "I want to be successful." Say, "I want to build a business that earns $10,000 a month within 2 years." Measurable. Progress must be trackable. "I want to lose 10 pounds in 3 months" is measurable. Achievable. Goals should stretch you, but not break you. Unrealistic goals can crush motivation. Relevant, your goals must matter deeply to you. Don't chase what others think you should want. Time-bound. Set deadlines. Without time frames, dreams remain vague wishes. But let's go deeper. Beyond goals lies something even more powerful. Dreams. Goals are targets you can measure, but dreams are the fire in your heart. They're the vision of your best life, the story of who you want to become. Dreams are the reason you cry when you think of giving up. They're the reason you push through late nights, failures, and doubts. Dreams are often dismissed as unrealistic or too big. But history is written by people who refuse to shrink their dreams to fit small minds. Think of the Wright brothers. People laughed at the idea of humans flying, yet their dream of flight changed the world. Or Oprah Winfrey, who grew up in poverty and abuse. Her dream of a better life fueled her persistence, and today she is one of the most influential women in the world. Your dreams matter. They're not random. They are the whispers of your deepest potential, and when you refuse to give up on them, they become the blueprint for your destiny. Let's try something powerful right now. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 5 years from today. You never gave up. You persisted through every failure. You faced every fear. You acted every day, even when you didn't feel like it. Now picture this future version of you. Where are you living? Who is beside you? What are you doing every morning when you wake up? How does it feel to live a life aligned with your dreams? This visualization is not just positive thinking. Neuroscience shows that when you vividly imagine your dreams, your brain begins to believe they are possible. Your subconscious mind starts searching for opportunities and resources to make them real. That's why athletes visualize winning before stepping onto the field. That's why successful entrepreneurs write down their dreams every day. Now let's connect dreams to persistence. When the journey gets hard, and it always will, it's your vision of the dream that keeps you moving. Imagine a mountain climber facing freezing winds and exhaustion. Why does he keep climbing? Because he can see the peak in his mind. He knows the view at the top will be worth the pain. The same is true for you. When you feel like quitting, you must remind yourself of the peak, your dream. Write it down, put it on your wall, repeat it to yourself daily. Let it burn in your heart so brightly that no amount of failure can extinguish it. There is also great power in sharing your goals and dreams. Speak them out loud. Tell trusted friends or mentors. The moment you declare your dream, it gains power. Accountability, fuels persistence. Because now you're not just giving up on yourself if you quit, you're giving up on the belief others have in you. But let me also warn you, the bigger your dream, the louder the critics will be. People will tell you, that's impossible, or be realistic. Not because you can't achieve it, but because they can't see themselves achieving it. Their limitations are not your limitations. Never let someone else's fear become the reason you give up on your dream. Dreams demand sacrifice. They will ask you to work when you're tired, to stay disciplined when distractions call, to choose growth over comfort. But here's the miracle. When you live for your dream, the sacrifices stop feeling like burdens. They feel like investments in the life you know you're meant to live. So here's the challenge. Write down your top 3 dreams right now. Be bold, don't shrink them. Then write 3 specific goals that move you closer to each dream. These goals are your steps. The dreams are your destination. Together they form a roadmap that makes giving up impossible, because every day you'll know exactly why you're fighting. Remember, dreams are not given to you by accident. They are invitations to become who you truly are. And if you refuse to give up, if you chase them with relentless persistence, you will not only reach them, you will inspire countless others to believe in their own. So dream boldly. Set your goals clearly. And no matter what happens, never, ever give up. Because the life you imagine is waiting for you, and it becomes real the moment you decide to keep going. We've walked through the journey together, from mindset to habits, from failure to action, from goals to dreams. Now, as we stand at the end, it's time for the most important part, the call to change. Because a motivational message is meaningless unless it sparks transformation in you. And this is where everything comes together. You must decide. You must act. You must choose to never give up. Let's recap the path. We began with mindset because your thoughts shape your world. If you believe you can't, you won't. But if you believe you can, persistence will carry you through storms. Next, we turn to habits and discipline, because dreams are built not on occasional bursts of effort, but on consistent, daily action. Then we faced failure and fear, recognizing that they are not dead ends but stepping stones, the very teachers that prepare you for greatness. From there, we moved to breakthrough action, the reminder that dreams die in hesitation but thrive in execution. And we explored goals and dreams, the compass that guides your persistence and keeps your fire alive. And now we stand here, at the climax, with one simple truth. It all comes down to you. Yes, you. Not the economy, not your past, not luck, not circumstances, not what people said about you. You. You hold the pen that writes your story. And the question is, what story will you write? A story of giving up when life got hard? Or a story of resilience, of never backing down, of turning obstacles into triumphs? Here's the reality, life will not wait for you. Time will pass whether you persist or give up. 1 year from now, you'll either look back with pride at the progress you made or with regret at the excuses you believed. Which will it be? This is your wake-up call. Enough waiting, enough doubting, enough saying, I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow is a lie. The only day you have is today. Right now, in this moment, you must choose persistence. And I want you to feel this deeply. You can change your life. You can rewrite your story. You can rise from the ashes of failure and become unstoppable. But it begins with a decision to never give up. Think about all the people who are counting on you, your family, your future self, the lives you will impact when you step into your purpose. Giving up doesn't just affect you. It robs the world of the gifts only you can give. Somewhere out there, someone's breakthrough depends on your persistence. Someone's hope depends on your example. Someone's dream will be awakened because you refused to quit. So this is not just about you. This is about the ripple effect your persistence creates. I want you to say this out loud right now. I will never give up. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how many times I fall, I will rise again. I will not quit, because my dreams matter, my goals matter, my life matters. Feel the power in those words. That is your declaration. That is your new identity. You are not a quitter. You are a fighter. You are a dreamer. You are a doer. And nothing, no failure, no fear, no obstacle will stop you. Now imagine the climax of your life like the climax of this video. The music builds, the images flash, people running, building, working, achieving. The words echo in your mind. Never give up. Never give up. Never give up. And in that moment you feel the shift. You realize that all the strength you need is already inside you. All you have to do is unleash it. This is your call for change. Your time to rise. No more excuses. No more delays. From this day forward, persistence is your identity. And as we close, let me leave you with this final message. Life is not about waiting for the perfect conditions. It's about showing up again and again, even when everything in you wants to quit. It's about writing your story with courage, persistence, and heart. And when the world looks back at your journey, let it say not, they had it easy, but they never gave up. So start today. Take the first step. Chase the dream. Build the habit. Face the fear. Rise from the failure. Keep moving forward, because this life is yours, and you have the right, no, the responsibility, to write it with greatness. And remember this forever. You are stronger than you think. You are braver than you believe. You are capable of more than you can imagine. And as long as you never give up, you cannot lose. Now go. Take action. Write your story. And never ever quit.